I honestly think that the accounting industry is struggling more than others, mainly because, well, let's just say if you call yourself an accountant, that's not so exciting, so sexy, right? If you're coming out of business school, being a financial advisor sounds a lot better, but you're also not dealing with the extra hours for the CPA exam. There's been chatter, I would say. I know Roger and I spoke about this once before, but to sit for the CPA exam, you have to have that extra year of school, 150 hours. So it's just another reason when we're low on talent for those students coming out, graduating, to pick something other than tax or accounting and to go more finance or, advisory type thing. I know I had to get the 150 hours to sit. I kind of feel like everybody should have to do that. But on the flip side, there's good talent. And if they're not going forward just because of that extra year of school, maybe we should consider that.
Yeah, the whole supply and demand is out of whack in our industry
Yeah.
right now,
Yeah.
and you're going to have to probably remove some of the hurdles to increase the supply of candidates. I did want to comment on how our industry is adverse to change. You guys know this, but the listeners don't. Last year, I moderated a panel at the IRS forums on practice management. I'm getting ready to take off and start that again next week. And hiring always comes up. And the questions from the audiences, and unfortunately, some of the response of the panelists all focuses on hiring locally and people still coming in offices and looking for solutions. I mean, one of the answers last year by one of the panelists was, well, you should go recruit the junior colleges. Well, that's something we did 35 years ago. To your point, Jeff, as an industry, we have to accept the fact that the world around us has changed, and the advice that we gave ourselves or others 20, 30 years ago is not going to work today.
I still think you should go to the junior colleges. I
Well,
think
yeah.
it's a tried and true practice, but it's not. It's necessary, but not sufficient.
Right.
And
It can be your only strategy.
it can't be your only strategy. I keep hearing, even inside firms in Paget, which are local community-based accounting firms, that key people are leaving. And I'm hearing that outside of Paget and kind of in my role as an advisor to Accounting Fly now. And so what that speaks to is not only is it hard to find people, all right, that is a challenge. We're in a season where good people are leaving firms, they're leaving our profession, and we're stuck in a tough spot right now for sure. And that the people leaving makes it harder because, well, we're sort of coming from this angle of the podcast of I'm growing, how do I fill more seats? What's also happening is our profession's growing, firms are growing, but we're losing people. So not only do you have to backfill and cover that work where the person just left, and so you can't pull that out of a junior college. You need someone who's experienced and job ready today, but you've got to accommodate for the future and your growth. How often do we talk at Paget about the concept of enterprise value? Like, what is my firm worth? And we know that there's a handful of factors that drive what the firm is worth. And what I mean by that is when you're ready to retire, what is your exit value? What are you going to get for that firm? And the link to recruiting is if you don't have a predictable and reliable recruiting operation where you can fill a job to backfill or you can accommodate growth, that takes your value of the firm down. It means that they're going to buy for the client book and they're not buying on value. So that affects your multiple. So there's a lot of implications to talent, not to mention the least of which is this is how we make money. This is how we serve clients. This is how we grow, is because we have to be good at finding people, putting them into slots, getting the best out of them, managing them, and growing a business. So there's a lot of implications around talent that need to be taken seriously.
And to your point, we've seen this in Paget, something I've never seen before, and I've done this many, many years, is people are valuing firms in some instances higher based on the talent that they're buying. They'll
For
come
sure.
in and say, I will pay extra for this firm because of their staff, the talent that's there. Where before it used to be, everybody in that firm could be replaced. And now you pay extra for a firm who has good quality talent that is in a good environment and will stay.